So a friend of mine was asking me about how does this process work if I'm about to close on my house, but there was a judgment against me and there's been a garnishment of money. So I wanted to share that conversation with you. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer. And if you maybe have a judgment against you and you've had garnishment, you're looking to how do I make this all go away in order to close on a house? Well, first we have to understand the sequence here. So number one, we have a lawsuit. Number two, there's a judgment. Now, that could be a default judgment. It could be a consent judgment. It could be a summary judgment. It's just there's a judgment against you for a certain monetary amount. Now, after that judgment has occurred, now they can garnish you. That might be garnishing your bank account, pulling money out of there. It might be taking 25% of your paycheck. Whatever it is, there's garnishment. So money goes from your bank or from your employer to the court. And that's step four. That money's taken. And then step five, it sits at the court. So I used to think that it just automatically flowed to the collection lawyer. But at least in Alabama, and I think in most states, this is how it works. It sits there at the court. And then sometimes this is done informally, but there can be a motion to condemn the money, which just means the collection lawyer is saying, hey, I got this judgment. There's been money garnished. Now I want you to transfer the money to me. And then there's an order condemning that judgment or that money, and then the money flows. And a lot of times in that order, it will say, if this takes care of the judgment, then you, the collection lawyer, have to file what's called a satisfaction of judgment. And that means kind of what it sounds like. There's a judgment and it's been satisfied. It's been taken care of. It's been resolved. And so once that has been filed in court, now if you're looking to close on a house, for example, your title company will see that and say, okay, we don't have to worry about that judgment, okay, because it's been taken care of. It's been satisfied. So the point of this video is not how do you defend a lawsuit or how do you avoid a judgment or how do you fight a garnishment. It just I want you to see the kind of the big picture steps of how we get from a lawsuit to there's a judgment, there's garnishment, the money's taken. Well, where's it taken to? It's taken to the court. It sits at the court. And then that money has to be condemned. And then so there's a motion filed. A motion is just a request. And then there's actual order condemning the money, and then ultimately a satisfaction of the judgment. Now, sometimes this will vary a little bit. Again, sometimes it can be more formal or less formal. But hopefully this gives you a nice idea so that if you're dealing with a judgment, dealing with garnishment, I'll give you an example. Let's say that there's a $5,000 judgment by Capital One against you. And forget about interest for right now. They garnish $5,000 from your checking account. You'd say, well, they took all the money that I owe. So my credit report should show a zero balance on Capital One because I have all the money. Well, that's true if all the money has been actually received by the collection lawyer for Capital One. Now, if it has been transferred, then yes, they need to update your credit report, show that it's been paid, for example. But I just want you to see this because for a long time, I didn't know the sequence, how it works. And this is how I understand it and just wanted to share it with you guys. Okay, have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.